Hola, I'm Heidi, and this is Humanity. Welcome to another episode of our show. And panibagong buwan na naman, September na ngayon. Tapos na tayo sa Ghost Month. Last day ngayon ng Ghost Month actually. Panibagong buwan, panibagong series na naman na pag-uusapan natin ngayon sa Womoney Talks natin. Okay, this series entitled Breaking Gender Stereotypes. Okay, kung nakita niyo yung poster ng ating guest for today, it's Breaking Gender Stereotypes. This was obviously inspired by the Olympics, yung recently concluded Olympics, wherein a lot of female and also male, diba? A lot of athletes who competed during the tournament in the Olympics are somehow hindi sila yung, alam mo yon, si Heidelin Diaz, sila Nessie Petacio, sila Marceline, and the other guy, nag-ano siya, ah, oh my gosh, nakalimutan ko yung tawag. Pero yung isa lalaki din siya. But then, yung sport na pinili niya is really about naman pang babae. Normally, yun yung ginagawa. Pang babae yung sport na yun. So, this series is really inspired by that concept. Kasi, it has it's not new to us naman talaga to stereotype, especially doon sa sports, di ba? Kasi merong mga sports na alam natin panlalaki lang, and some sports are dapat pambabae lang, or yung mga hobbies dapat pambabae lang, dapat yung hobbies na to panlalaki lang. But I guess it's really now the time to change our mindset in terms of the kind of sports that we want to engage ourselves in, 'di ba? So etong series na to, yung mga episodes na ipapalabas natin dito proves that gender stereotype is really a thing of the past. Okay? And sisimulan natin ngayong episode na to, sa isang, alam mo, sobrang excited ako because babae siya, and at the same time, ang bata-bata pa niya. Kaedad lang siya ng anak ko, guys. And she has achieved so much already at a very young age. Bago ang lahat, gusto ko muna mag-hi sa mag-ina. Hi Wendy and hi Kiev. Thank you for watching agad. Ayan. Nagtanong ako dito sa guest ko na to because I would always ask my guests kung ano yung preferred intro nila. For in this case kasi, ang dami kasi niyang achievements at a very young age, di ba? So I asked her kung ano yung mga titles niya. Okay? And nagulat ako sa sagot niya because I was really not expecting na ganun kadami. And to top it all, ang sabi niya, I forgot the rest. Okay? So, hindi lang ito lahat yon. Okay? So, without further ado, and I would also like you guys to know that this is pre-recorded yesterday because she lives in California. So, at this time, medyo umagang-umaga sa kanila and she needs to prepare pa for class. That's why we pre-recorded it yesterday. Para at least ngayon, i-play na lang natin siya. But feel free to, if you want to ask questions, because she will be watching the replay and she will be replying to your comments if ever na you will have comments also later on. Okay, and without further ado, I would like to introduce to you my very, very special guest for tonight. She is a three-time Fight to Win champion, IBJJF Pan American champion, IBJJF International champion, two-time Jiu Jitsu World League world champ, two times Jiu Jitsu World League season champ, Jiu Jitsu World League national champ, Jiu Jitsu World League Pacific Cup champ, two-time Artes Suave Elite title champ. I hope I got it right. 5 grappling and 3-time super fight submission only winner. And right now, she is at the second degree blue belt jiu-jitsu practitioner. That was a mouthful. But ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you Amara Rodriguez. Hello, Amara, and welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you
Thank you
here.
for having me.
Yes, my pleasure is mine. I'm really so excited when your mom told me, or when your mom said yes in your behalf.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Um, I follow you in Instagram, and your mom and I are friends also.
Mhm.
And every time I would see your pictures, the achievements that you have gotten through the tournaments that you have joined in, it really amazes me because at a very young age of 15, you've already experienced a lot, right? But before we go into that sports that you have chose, I wanted to take a step back first, and I want to know more about your childhood because I'm really so curious. Okay, let's talk about you as a
Okay.
child. What were the things that you normally play with when you were younger?
So when I was younger, I wasn't very athletic. So I was never an athletic person, especially growing up. And because I'm an only child, I usually had to play by myself because I didn't have a sister or a brother to play with. And I played with these toys called Littlest Pet Shops, and they're like tiny animals that have like bobbleheads, and like you could dress them up or like make them talk. And I think with them, that's what made me um, fall in love with animals because I really like animals till now, and I just I just love playing with them. I always like made my mom buy me them on eBay, and I never really played with like balls or like things with sports, like because I like I said I wasn't as athletic and I had no one to play with unless I was at school and I had friends to play with. But that's pretty much it. That's I just played with toys by myself.
So you're just by yourself. You don't have much friends when you were younger, neighbors like that.
I had friends, but I when I did play with toys, I played with my cousins. Yeah, and like it was it was pretty fun. I don't think being an only child was lonely or anything because I still had my cousins and my family members. And sometimes I like forced my dad to play toys with me because I had no one to play with. So, um, yeah, I usually just try to make the best out of it.
Yeah, and collect all those ultra rare. You
Oh,
have that before, right?
yeah, yeah.
Because my daughter also collects Littlest Pet Shop. We have a
Really?
lot of those. Even the what do you call that? She we bought something for her like it's like a park for for the Littlest Pet Shop. She has a
Oh,
lot of those when she was
yeah.
younger, and then yeah, the ultra rares, and then there are other things that you call it. I just forgot. So it's it's fun. We also played with that one before when they were younger, and they still have it. My daughter doesn't want to let go of those because she wanted to sell it in the future.
Oh yeah, you can make a lot of money with them because the brand Hasbro that makes the toys, they don't produce that type of toy anymore.
Okay.
That specific generation, so it's kind of like vintage. Not really
Yeah,
vintage, but it's kind of vintage.
it's
It's rare.
it's a very cute toy, especially when you collect all the dogs and
Yeah.
the dog ones. So it was cool. So when were you introduced to any sport, and what was that sport?
Okay. So the first sport that I was introduced to was Taekwondo, and I think I was 5. I didn't really like the girly sports like ballet. So I did do ballet, but I didn't really do it that much, so I wouldn't count it. So I first started Taekwondo when I was 5, and I liked it because I liked kicking. So I wanted to learn how to kick, and then I remember telling my mom that I liked doing the kicks that I learned. Um, but I didn't really engage in Taekwondo for that long either. And after Taekwondo, I took swimming classes. So swimming lessons, and I joined swimming with a close friend. So I didn't do it alone, and we both took swimming lessons for like a good year, I think. But I didn't do it competitively. I just took lessons to learn how to do the basic stuff like stroking, um, and yeah.
So, and then after swimming, that's when you were introduced to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, because I didn't do sports after swimming. I played instruments, but I took singing classes, but I didn't do any sports.
What to know? What instruments are you playing? Were you
So,
playing, or are you still playing those instruments until now?
right now I'm not playing anything, but I used to take violin and piano. And I did piano for like 2 years,
Mhm.
almost three. Yeah.
I think you can still play something because once you have it, it won't it won't go away. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
I still have it. Once you sit down in front of the piano, your fingers are gonna know what to do. Still know what to do, right?
Yeah.
So jiu-jitsu, let us talk about jiu-jitsu. Why why were you why did you get interested with that kind of sports? I mean, you had your history of taekwondo,
Hmm.
and then you got into that because you want to kick.
Yeah.
Is that a kick a person, or I don't know?
Or well, I don't really know what was going on through my 5-year-old mind or something. I just liked kicking, I guess.
Okay.
I wanted to do the kicks in it. And yeah, my cousin started doing martial arts too, so I think I was inspired by her.
Oh, she's a girl also.
Yeah, she's a girl.
All right. And then why jiu-jitsu? How is it different from taekwondo?
Well, I don't really know much about taekwondo, but I know that taekwondo uses kicks. So and I'm not really sure, but jujitsu doesn't use any kicks. We don't kick in jujitsu. Jujitsu is mostly like chokes and breaking bones. Like you can break someone's arm or leg or
I could
ankle.
see that.
Yeah.
You could kill somebody. Okay, and then okay, so tell me more about it. So, it's a very physical sport, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
why did you want that in the first place? It's so physical, and at the same time, there is a very big possibility that you're gonna get injured.
Mhm.
I don't know, extreme. I don't know why jiu-jitsu. Why did you choose that?
Well, my mom was actually the one who wanted me to do jujitsu.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't want to do jujitsu because, like you said, I was pretty scared. I was a chicken. I didn't really want to get hurt or anything. But my mom actually got me to start it, and it was mainly because I didn't participate in any extracurricular activities at the time. So, so my mom wanted me to stop being a bum at home, sitting and doing nothing.
Christina.
Yeah, she didn't. She wanted me to be good at something. So she told me that jujitsu would be good to learn self defense, especially with everything going on in the world, because the world's a dangerous place. And especially since I'm a girl, so she wanted me to learn how to defend myself and protect myself. So I'm thankful that she enrolled me in the sport. And I didn't really, I thought it was really hard at first. So it was pretty difficult. I don't think I enjoyed it for the first couple weeks just because when I joined, um, everyone already seemed like they were really good at it and they were already a pro. So I felt out of place.
Because they started ahead of you, right? When you got
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. And it was funny because before I joined, my mom told me that everyone in the class was going to be a beginner and not a lot of people were beginners. It was just me.
I think the reason why she told you that, so that you could also manage your expectation, and then you won't get intimidated. Because
Yeah.
when if your mom have told when your mom have told you the truth, then maybe you wouldn't have gotten in the first place, right?
Yeah. Well, the class that I took was called beginners class, but
Mhm.
like the kids that were in the class, they've been doing beginners class for a while. So I think she just assumed it was filled with beginners, but
So okay, I'm curious. So that's a beginner's class, and you think that most of the girls Most of them are girls, or
It's
just a few?
both girls and boys.
Okay. And then, but in your class, you were one of those who excelled. Is that, don't be modest.
When I wait, what do you mean?
I don't know, when you were studying in that beginner's class, uh, was there a time that you felt that, hey, I'm excelling on this one, and I will be able to compete soon, something like that?
Well, to be honest, not really. Um, I felt kind of discouraged, kind of, because since everyone was already really good,
Mhm.
um, I felt like I just kept getting beat up in class. But when I mean beat up, it doesn't mean like physically actually hitting.
Yeah.
Because in jiu-jitsu, you're not allowed to actually hurt your partner.
Hmm.
Um, but
How can you not
after
hurt a partner if you're so physical together?
Oh, because if something starts hurting, then you have to tap your partner. Like, just give him a tap, and then your partner will let go. So you both stop. And this
Okay.
applies in class and in tournaments. So if you feel something like hurting or you feel like you're falling asleep from a choke, you just tap them, and then you won't get hurt because they'll let go right away. It's like a safe, kind of like a safe word, but there's no word. So,
Oh, that's kind of scary. You you
no,
might you might fall asleep there during a
yeah,
fight. You're really
it
choking.
happens a lot to some people, but that's mainly
Because even
because
if they tap the opponent, the opponent won't stop. That's why it happens.
oh no, it's because they some people refuse to tap. They don't like tapping because they have an ego.
Oh,
They don't like submitting to someone because they
okay.
feel like um,
They're the
they're
weaker.
yeah they don't want to feel weak. So
Mm-mm.
I feel like some people don't tap, and then that's what causes them to get hurt.
Mhm.
And also in jiu-jitsu, there's a choke that you don't feel pain. So it could also be that they don't feel pain and they don't think that there's anything that's hurting them. And then next thing you know, they fall asleep because it's a painless choke.
Oh, okay. And good thing you have always there's always a medic on standby every tournament, right?
Yeah,
Because
every
it's
tournament.
that's so scary.
It's not that bad. I don't think it's that scary.
It's not that bad.
It's
You're
not
gonna
that
fall
scary.
asleep.
No, no, if you tap, then you'll be fine.
Yeah, as long as the ego is not in the way, right?
Yeah, I think
Because if
that's pretty big because if you have an ego in jiu-jitsu, you're probably going to get hurt
yeah.
badly.
Okay, so all right, so those were the challenges that you have encountered when you were just starting. So the intimidation, and then you felt like everybody, or everybody is way ahead of you because you were just
Mhm.
starting, and then when
Yeah, it
you
was intimidating.
yeah. And how were you able to overcome those things? When was the time that you felt that I got this?
Well, I'd say the more I kept going to jujitsu classes and practices, the more I got comfortable with the environment, especially since I started making friends like a couple months in. So I started making a lot of friends that also do the class. So if anything, I was more motivated to go to class now because I got to train with my friends and I got closer to everybody. And so something that helped me overcome this was probably motivation. So I was able to go to class and feel comfortable instead of like, oh my gosh, everyone is so much better than me. And I'm scared to go against this person or fight with this person when everyone felt like a second family. So I was, and everyone was so nice. So it was a welcoming. So.
Do you ever tell your mom about your challenges? For example, when you got so intimidated, did you tell her about it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I remember telling her I didn't want to train more than twice a week because I was so intimidated and I was so
How
kind
did
of
she talk you out through that?
um she didn't really talk me out. She was just like, okay. but then she still put me more than twice a week, so I had to deal with it. And
Persistent.
yeah, well, she knows what's best for me, so whenever I tell her I don't want to do something, she'll make me do it anyways, just to like try it out, and experience different things in life. It's just her
Guys, trust your
personality.
mom.
It's her
Trust your mom.
personality.
I would always tell my kids, I have two kids,
Mhm.
the one who's of the same age as you and the other one is younger. I would always tell them, oh, go ahead. If they want to do something and if they want to do something that I oppose, I would always tell them, go ahead, do it. You know what happens when I said no.
And then something goes wrong.
And then something will go, so they won't push through with it anymore. So that's how things
Yeah.
go, right?
Yeah.
that's how that's how Gen X moms do things around
Yeah,
here.
my mom's always just like, Sige, go, do it. Watch what happens.
Correct.
So,
That's so funny. Okay, so when did you start competing and overcoming all those challenges and overcoming all those insecurities and intimidation? When did you feel that finally I can now compete? I can do this. When did that happen? Sorry, when did you start with? How old were you when you started jiu-jitsu?
um, I think I was 11 or 12, one of them.
11, and then when you started competing, how old were you?
The same age, I think, or 12. I think I was 12.
Oh,
Cuz
okay.
cuz I joined before my birthday and then I competed after my birthday. So, I think I was 12 when I first competed.
So it's just a short time when you finally decided that you can already compete because
Yeah.
that was just less than a year. We're
Yeah, it
gonna.
was actually 3 months into my my jiu-jitsu.
So you
Um
were just intimidated and challenged for a very short time, and then you compete now.
um well, it's cuz my coach, he likes for his students to compete a lot. So
Mm-hmm.
he actually talked to my mom and was asking her if I could compete. And then I was only 3 months into training. I wasn't any pro, or I didn't really know what I was doing 3 months in. So I began competing, and in my first tournament, I won second place.
Okay, let us bring that out. Okay, was this the first tournament that
Oh,
you?
no, my first tournament was in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one is in 2019.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the first tournament that you had.
Okay.
That must be a very nerve wracking first time for you because finally you'll be competing and it's no longer like a classroom setup.
Hmm.
Was it? I don't know. Was it recorded or was it televised or?
No, it's basically the organization that I competed for is called Jiu Jitsu World League, and basically they have like 12 mats, or around 12 or something mats, like laid out in a big gym area, and then you compete at a certain time.
Okay.
So I competed on one of the mats, and this is going on while a bunch of other people are competing as well. So you're competing at the same time as other people are competing. It's all in one big room. So it's not just you and one person. So there's other people fighting at the same time.
And then is it like is a term also applicable in jiu-jitsu, the like round robin as they call it? So you compete all at the same time, and then once the winners are chosen, or once we
Um,
determine the winners will be competing and so on and so forth. Is that
yeah,
how it
it's kind
goes?
of like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's only if you have a lot of people in your brackets. So if a
Okay.
lot of people are the same age, weight, and belt rank as you, then you're probably going to have to do round robin, where the first two people compete and the second two people compete, and then the winners of those two matches compete to get the first place. It's just kind of like, I don't know what it's called, but That
Yeah.
usually happens if a lot of girls are
Mm-mm.
competing.
And then, were you required to have a belt first before you compete, or it's fine if even if you have no
Um,
belt yet?
well, you need to have a belt, but everyone starts off with the belt anyways. So
Mm-hmm.
everyone starts off with the white belt, and you can compete as a white belt. There's no like
Mm-hmm.
restrictions or anything.
All right. Okay. And when you fought for the first time, like a tournament, what belt were you wearing that time?
So I was a white belt.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know anything. Um, I wasn't any high rank. I was the very first belt. So I competed with other white belts. So it wasn't that bad. I didn't have to compete with anyone really tough.
Yeah, because you're of the same belt at that time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So let us talk about. So right now, this picture shows that you are already wearing a yellow belt. Is that the
Mhm.
second after the white,
That's
or?
that's like the third color after white. So it
Ooh.
goes white, and then it goes gray, and then yellow.
Mm-hmm.
But as you can see, there's like I don't know if you can really see it, but there's like a white line in the middle of my yellow belt there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Okay, so we in the kids belts, in the youth belt, there's three different belts, kind of belts in the same color. So for example, it goes white and then it goes gray, but instead of just gray, it goes gray white. In the middle, there's a white line, and then it goes solid color gray and then gray black. And instead of a white line in the middle, there's a black line in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have like a white line in the middle, that means you just got promoted to that color. So in that picture, I just got promoted to a yellow belt, so I had a white line in the middle. And so it goes white line and then solid color, and then there's like a black. So if you have black in the middle, that means an advanced color. So you could be a gray black belt, and then you'd have like you'd be known as an advanced gray belt.
Oh. So this means that though you're in yellow belt, this is an advanced rank for you because you have a line in your belt. So does
Um,
that follow
it's
also?
it's a beginner yellow belt because it has a white line. If it's black,
Oh,
then it'd
okay.
be an advanced. Yeah.
All right, all right. Okay, so this were, so you obviously you won in this fight, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then you have been winning. So this was just last year, 2021. I got this from your mom. So your mom is a very good resource for
Yeah.
all the photos and videos that you have. She has been taking of you. So
Mhm.
this one, this is in
Phoenix, Arizona.
this is in Phoenix, Arizona,
Yeah.
and then yeah. So and then this one, this is a medal, right? Two
Yeah.
medals.
That's two medals.
Why
That's in
two?
Oh, because I competed in two divisions. So the first division was teens. I
Mm-hmm.
competed against teenagers, teenage
Mm-hmm.
girls. And then the second time, I competed against adults. So women, like grown women. I competed against.
Like how old?
I'm pretty sure like above 18. So could be like 18 to like 30 if you really wanted to compete at that age. Yeah.
And you beat them up. Literally beat them up.
Well, not beat them up. I'd just say like win, won against them.
You won against them. All right, all right. So okay, this amazes me. Okay, so I would normally see belts in boxers like Manny Pacquiao, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But I saw this picture and I was like, "You have a belt! Oh my gosh! How did you get this? This is
So
where?
this is in California. This is
Okay.
pretty local. This is in Sacramento where I live.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is a title fight.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of like the regular tournaments that I've been doing in the previous pictures, this one has a title to it. So this is for the teen blue belt title fight.
Mm-hmm.
And some tournaments have title fights. And basically, if you win a title fight, then you're the champion of that organization, if that makes sense.
And you fought against an Asian also. I
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
Filipina also.
I don't think so. I'm not sure what she is, but
Okay.
she's not Filipino.
Okay, okay.
Or actually, maybe. I'm not sure what she is.
And oh, here in Las Vegas. So this is 2020 though. So we kind of backtrack a little.
Mhm.
This is in Las Vegas, and again, normally I would see fighters fight in Las Vegas if it's Manny Pacquiao levels.
Oh, yeah.
And then I saw you in this picture, and this is Las Vegas. Hello, 15
Well,
years old, and no, you're not 15 here. You're 14 here because this was last year, right?
I think this was this year, or
20.
yeah, this
Ano
was
ba
this
tama
this
yun?
was this year.
Oh, but
'Cause
it's
I was
2020. Oh, okay.
I was already a
So,
blue belt. Yeah.
right. So, di ba, you're fighting in Las Vegas already. So, how does it feel?
It kind of feels it's nothing really new to me because I always travel to compete,
Mm-hmm.
and organization like Jiu Jitsu World League, they usually go in different states in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So I've already been to so many states. So Las Vegas wasn't much of a big surprise.
But we are so proud of you. I mean, just seeing these pictures, I'm really, really so proud of you.
Thank you.
Especially your mom, grabe. And you would always um, flash our flag every time you
Yeah.
compete. Because
Yeah.
I would always see, I would always see an intro where the announcer calls you, and then when you come in the stage, you would always hold the flag of the Philippines. How that is very patriotic, and um, I would assume that you're really, really proud to be a Filipina,
Yeah.
competing in the world, diba, with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it's nice to represent the Philippines
Aww.
because yeah, I'd say I'm pretty uh, proud to be a Filipina because I like holding the flag. I like letting people know that
I
this
could
is
see that. I could see that. You were not born here in the Philippines, right?
no.
I think your mom went straight to the U.S., and then that's where she had her family. But how deep is how deep is the Filipino culture in your veins, if I
It's
must say?
it's pretty deep, I'd say,
Mhm.
because um, everyone in my family is Filipino.
Uh-huh.
So my dad's his side is very Filipino, and both sides. They're both born in the Philippines. So my mom was born in Manila, I
Hmm.
think, and my dad, he was I don't know where he was born, but I know he lived in Cavite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
What is your favorite Filipino dish?
I have a lot. Well, I like I like so many. I'd say like sinigang or
Champorado.
champorado. Yeah, and um, longanisa,
Wow.
sisig.
Sisig? Was that sisig? Did you
Yeah,
say?
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Sarap.
Mm.
When you would normally go here in the Philippines for vacation, right? But it's pandemic right now. That's why
Yeah,
you
I
weren't
want to
able to
go.
come.
I want to go so bad. I like the
Oh,
Philippines. It's fun to go there and visit family because I don't get to
yeah.
see them.
Yeah. I really hope this pandemic ends so that you could visit already. So
Hmm.
this one is when was this?
That was in the middle of this year, so like
Mhm.
only a couple months ago.
Okay.
Or yeah, or maybe kind of like in between the middle and early on in the year, I'd say.
Mhm.
I don't exactly remember what month that was.
I'm curious. This year, how many fights did you fought?
It's so much to count. I don't really keep track, but
Was
I must
there?
compete a lot. Almost like every other weekend, I'll be competing.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And then how many times have you lost already? Because I
Um,
would always see you're always winning. So I'm really curious if there was a time that you lost.
yeah, there was actually a time that I lost this year.
Mm.
Um, it was it was not too long after this match in this picture, but I lost um, in an organization called what was it called? I forgot what it was called. I'm sorry, I'm blanking right now. But basically, I went against someone, and she's actually smaller than me, so
Mm-hmm.
she's a pretty skilled fighter. Her name is Ashley Funegra. So I went
Mm-hmm.
against her, and I was very nervous to fight because it was one of those tournaments where you have to fight on a stage, and everyone's watching you right around the stage,
Okay.
and it was being recorded. So I was pretty nervous.
So that was the time that you didn't win the match because you were so nervous.
Yeah, I think usually when I'm not nervous is when I excel in a match, but I do get pretty bad anxiety sometimes before a match, and it's hard for me to focus because I'm so nerve it's so nerve wracking, and I I don't know. I just think that when I'm in a happier mood and I'm less stressed about a tournament match, that's when I usually win.
Yeah, and we could see that in your face because there are a lot of look at. Oh, I was just about to say it because look at your face here. It's like, come on, let's do this. Let's get this over with.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? I'm really curious about what's going on in your mind every time you compete because I would always see your face every time in the videos that your mom posts. I would see your face. You were really so calm, as if you're not hurting anyone. I don't know what's going on in your mind.
Okay. So when I fight, I usually try to stay calm because I don't like using too much energy. So there's a
Okay,
lot of fighters out there that like right off the bat they'll always like try to put
tigil,
out. Yeah, yeah. Like they
tigil
try to.
agad. Mm.
They use a lot of energy, and I don't like using energy because I get tired pretty easily. I'm not sorry, I'm not athletic at all. I don't like to run. I don't really like to do too much energy. So I try to stay calm and collected and composed when I'm fighting. I try to feel what's there and maybe try to predict what my opponent is going to do next so I can counter it and advance my position. But yeah, a lot of people tell me that I look calm and I don't make any faces. They say I have a poker face when
Yeah,
I fight, but
that's true.
yeah, I don't even know how I do it myself, to be honest. I just go out there and I try to stay calm and try to think to myself what I can do in this situation. Um, but with jiu-jitsu, you have to think fast. You can't
Mhm.
really sit there and think about what you're going to do next. You just have
Guarded.
to like it's quick. You got to think about it.
Yeah, because looking at your pictures when you fight and looking at you now, you're so sweet.
Oh,
How can
yeah.
this sweet girl fight?
Um,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. A lot of people actually, believe it or not, a lot of people are actually really nice.
Mm.
I have a lot of opponents that we go fight, and then afterwards we'll be like, "Hey, what's your Instagram?" So we'll be friends. It's just so funny. Everyone's usually pretty nice. Well, not
It,
everyone,
it's
but
just a sport anyway, and I
yeah.
like the fact that every time you fight at the end of the game, or at the end of the tournament, you would pull up your opponent, and then you would hug, or I don't know, you would
Oh
shake
yeah,
hands with them.
because um, I don't like. I feel like it's kind of cocky if I just um, like leave them there on the floor and like feel like I'm so good at this or anything. I like to help them up and let them know like there's nothing going like there's no hard feelings between us. Like we're just here to compete and
Have fun.
um, yeah, have fun really and just kind of like show your potential. Really, this is what competing is. It's just to test your your skill. It's nothing really. I wouldn't say it's something to take seriously because it's just basic good sportsmanship. So
Yeah, agree.
yeah,
And
I
then
like
this
helping
one,
them out.
when yeah, I could see that every time you would fight, I saw the video, so you always pull them up. And this
Yeah.
one, when was this?
That was in Las Vegas. So that's
Oh,
the
okay.
one in the picture we previously looked at. That was before I fought. I didn't fight yet.
And then this one, is this also in Las
Um.
Vegas or in another place?
Oh, that's in an organization called EUG, and this is also in Vegas.
Okay.
Oh, that's the one where I lost. So no, in this one I won, but the first time I competed for this organization, I lost.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the second time, and I won. And honestly, I think I only won. Well, no, not because of this, but it's part of the reason why I won because I wasn't nervous
Mm-hmm.
going into it. Because when I walked out onto the stage, actually, the flags that are around my shoulder, I dropped it. So it was really
Okay.
embarrassing. So they were recording me walking out, and the flags fell off my shoulder. So I started laughing because I thought that was really funny. Like it was all serious, and then all of a sudden they just fall off my shoulder, and then I started laughing at myself because I was like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. Um, I'm walking out, and then the flags fall. It doesn't look.
Oh,
It was embarrassing, but so I started laughing, and that's what made me kind of relax. It calmed down my anxiety and my nerves before I fought. And the girl I went against in this picture is actually pretty good. Both her parents are like jujitsu masters, or not
ooh,
masters. They're just both her parents are like good, and I think they're black belts. So she comes from a very jujitsu family, if that makes sense.
that is so pressuring. Coming
Yeah, it's
because
very pressuring.
right because if that's gonna be the case, it's like everybody will be comparing you with their parents. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's how things go, right?
yeah,
So everybody's expecting a lot from you because your parents are like that. So you have to be the same. I don't know. Good thing you're the only jiu-jitsu fighter in your family.
it's a good and bad thing.
Why bad thing? I'm curious. Why good and bad
Because
thing?
well, it's good because, like you said, there's not much pressure, so you don't have to worry about like having to compete against or feel competitive against your own family members.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like kind of a bad thing because sometimes my parents they act like they're they know what I should be doing next when it's actually not what I should be doing next,
Okay.
like in my fight.
They're so into the game that they would tell you you should have done this, you should have
Yeah,
done
yeah,
that.
they're always like, you could have done this, you should have done this. And then I always have to be like, well, that's not really a good idea if I did that because it's not what I could have done. But
Yeah,
I understand. They're trying to just help me.
yeah. And maybe the reason why they're doing that because they just don't want you to feel bad about that loss. Maybe. As a parent, I would do that. I would do the same to my kid as well. I think that's my that's my way of consoling, right?
Yeah.
So, Christina, now that you heard it straight from your daughter, and this is another picture of your fight. Look at you here.
Yeah, this
You're
was
just
my most recent fight. This
mm-hmm.
was only a week ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's
That's
happening
without
here?
here and that's without the gi. So if you notice in the previous pictures I was wearing it looked like a robe, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
With the belt around my waist. This one I it's just leggings and a rash guard.
Mm-hmm.
So this is without the gi because the girl that I'm fighting there, that's the same girl in the picture with my belt, the big belt here. That's the same girl. I'm fighting her again here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she was trying to fight me in this one because she wanted to have my title. So if you like realize like or if you think
Mm-hmm.
about it like in the first picture, I have a title, I won that, and then here
Yeah.
I'm defending my title.
And
First
then
one.
when you win this one, you're gonna have her title as well. Is that it?
No, she doesn't have a title. She's right here. She's competing to get the title from
I have
me.
to get the title because
Yeah.
I saw a picture of you having two belts already, so I thought she was the one.
Oh no, that picture was probably after when I won that. So I
Okay,
got a second belt because my first belt I won, and then in this picture I won the second belt because I won this match.
nice. So in this picture, you are defending your belt from this girl. So
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
and you're looking at her like you can't do that.
Well, kind of.
You can't take this away from me, girl.
Yeah, I didn't want it taken away from me.
And this is your coach.
Yeah, that's my coach.
Okay. So what were the things that your coach would tell you um, on how to improve the way you fight? I don't know, the life lessons that you have to think of so that you would stay focused and motivated. What were the things
Okay.
that he tells you?
So, before my matches, usually, he knows that I have like anxiety and I get anxious before I fight. So he tells me that, before or after the match, no matter win, lose, draw, or anything, like whatever the result is, he tells me that I'm still going to be the same person. I'm still going to be
Mm.
me. And no matter the result, it doesn't change who I am. So it motivates me because um, when I do lose, I do feel kind of like a sense of like disappointment in
Mhm.
myself, right? And I feel like everyone is disappointed in me. But with him, he tells me that he's still going to be proud of me no matter what. And at the end of the day, no matter the result, it's just this is just we're just here to have fun. It's nothing taken seriously, and it's just um, kind of
It doesn't make you less of a person if you lose that
yeah.
match,
It
right?
just makes yeah. There doesn't make a difference no matter the result. So that's what really motivates me. And he like when he coaches me, he just usually guides me through the match. He tells me what I can do, what I should do, how to like if I get a choke, he'll help me. He'll help me out.
What's his name?
uh, Cola Ajose. So I call him Coach
Oh,
Cola. Yeah,
that's the name
that's
in
the name of
your.
the academy that I
All right.
represent.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. All right. I would normally see that in your. I don't know what do you call that again.
On my
The
gi, the
yeah,
gi,
on
yeah.
your gi.
So it's on my rash guard right there too. Yeah,
Yeah.
the logo.
Oh, so he's the owner of the school.
Yeah. He's the main instructor.
Nice, nice, nice. Oh, look at this picture. What does it feel to be in that kind of position? Look at the people around you. Look at their faces. It's like, oh my gosh, she's upside down like that. So
Oh, um. Well, to be honest, this position here isn't very comfortable because I'm in the air. I'm not on the floor. So she's actually kind of carrying my body weight here.
yeah,
So
she's so strong because she was able to carry you in the. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah, and I well, actually, I was kind of helping her carry me because I have to like stay connected to her. Because if I don't, then I'm gonna lose the position. And in this position, it's called an arm bar. So it's basically a position where you align your hips with their elbow, and then you kind of like have to grab their arm and then hip up, and then it breaks. It could break their elbow if you really um, try hard enough.
Yeah, you're very composed as an athlete or as a competitor here. But whenever you get to that point na nanggigigil ka na, you understand that term, right?
Yeah.
So what happens, or are you do you stop yourself from feeling that, because you know it's gonna screw things up when you become so gigil at the
Hmm.
moment.
Yeah, you don't want to let your emotions get to you when you're fighting because um, then your emotions would be fighting instead of your actual technique, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
if I let my emotions kind of come out, then
Hmm.
I'm kind of worried about how I feel more than what is actually going on or what I'm actually supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's those are the pictures that we have talked about, a lot of stories in it. It's very, very exciting. And then this also amazes me. These are the videos that I have been watching.
Oh,
And the other video also that I saw, I sent to my daughter. So
oh,
she's not
that's
she's not
nice.
here in the house. She's in her grandma's house. So
Okay.
I sent her the video, and she said that look at her face, she's so calm.
Oh.
We really have the same observation. I guess every one of us have the same observation, because you're really calm and you're really composed.
Hmm.
And I guess that's really the reason why you have been winning a lot of competition ever since you joined. I mean, just look at that. I think this is televised, or do
Yeah,
you
it
have,
is.
okay, in a local channel in California. Is that right? Or
Well, it's televised on Flow Grappling. I'm not sure if they're a channel,
mhm.
but yeah, anyone can pretty much they can go on the website, and if they're a member, they can watch through there. And a
Oh,
lot of people watch on Flow Grappling. So
okay. And then I saw here, because I would see you as a very, very shy girl. Even if we are talking right now, I would still feel that you're kind of shy. And there was a part here in the video where the announcer, or I don't know how you call them, but um he interviewed you after. Yeah, here. This one.
oh
And you feel so shy. It's like you're so it's as if you're a different person from the one who just won the fight. What were you
yeah.
feeling here? What was going on in your mind here?
Well, actually, I forgot that there was going to be an interview.
You
So
weren't ready for the interview.
no, I wasn't. I know that there was going to be one, but then I forgot about it. And then
Okay.
I won. And then I see a tall guy walking towards me with the microphone. And I'm just like, oops, I forgot that I had to do this. So I
You're
wasn't
so
prepared.
but you went through it. So
Yeah.
yeah. That's good. That's good. You know what? We have come to almost an hour of just talking about your experiences and being a jiu-jitsu um, teenage champ. And I guess I'll have to ask you the second to the last question before we end this program. What can you say about stereotyping in sports? Because you yourself is um, is a proof that that shouldn't exist. So what can you say about it?
Okay, so stereotyping in sports are pretty common. It's a pretty common thing, especially in martial arts sports, because when people think martial artists, they usually think of like a really ripped and buff guy, or they'll think of like an Asian dude with a samurai or something. But no one really thinks of a little girl, right? No one thinks of a teenage girl or a female fighter. And since martial arts is fighting, I think that people usually see it as a masculine sport because it involves violence, and boys usually like the violence. And with girls, people raise their girls to be fragile and they have to dress up and then look cute and rely on a man's protection, right? So I generally don't think that girls should be this way. It's cool to see them as an athlete in martial arts. It's because you can see a girl and you wouldn't think that they know how to fight or they know how to punch or kick or. It's just cool to see girls in martial arts. So I think that these stereotypes shouldn't exist, really.
Yeah, and you can be both. You can be cute and good
Yeah,
in
yeah,
martial arts, right?
yeah, yeah,
Because
definitely.
whenever I see your Instagram post, you're so girly, and you wouldn't even have a hint that you're a jiu-jitsu champion or something, right? But you are, okay? So, what is your advice to all the teenagers and parents if ever they have daughters or they have kids who are into male or another sports which shouldn't be done by that kind of gender? What can you
Mhm.
tell them?
Okay, so my advice would be to let their daughters definitely try it if they're interested in it. So the idea of a sport being masculine shouldn't stop them from finding their passion. And even if you're not interested in a, male sport, I just think that you should try it anyways because I wasn't interested in doing jujitsu at first. I wasn't interested in fighting because I was too scared. But um, I'm really glad that I did because I don't know who I would be if I didn't do it. So I think, yeah, definitely let your daughters try a masculine based sport because it's very it's nice to break stereotypes. Let's say it's like prove them wrong. So
Thank you so much. That is so
yeah,
I'm happy that this sport had make you that confident person as you are right now. And you're right. You're really cool. Okay.
thank
That
you.
is really cool to have a girl who is really good at this male sport as we think, right? So
Mhm.
thank you so much,
Thank
Amara, and
you. Thank you for
I
having
really
me.
hope that wherever you go or whatever happens to your career in this kind of sport, I hope that you remain the sweet girl that you are, and you are so your mom said that you were shy. I don't think that's the case because you're really so calm and you're just saying everything that you want to share to us. So thank you so much, and I hope that you have a great time
Thank
and
you.
continue being the best in jiu-jitsu. And I'll see you soon when you come home here in the Philippines.
Okay, thank you so much
Thank
for having me. It
you.
was a pleasure. Bye.
Bye. And there you have it. Grabe. Sobrang na-enjoy ko yung pag-uusap namin ni Amara during that time because it was really like I was just talking to my daughter. Talagang sobrang nakaka-relate ako doon sa mga kinukwento niya and even the littlest pet shop and so on and so forth. And my takeaway for that interview was really just let your kids do their thing. Just let your kids play or engage to a sport that they like, no matter how we think na pang babae lang yan or pang lalaki lang yan. Just let them be. Because you will never know, Amara, oh my gosh, who would ever thought na yung ganong klaseng sweet girl na yun, eh talaga namang magiging title holder, di ba? Or magiging belter din siya in the future. It was really so nice. And as promised, this month, ito todo talaga natin ng girl power. So kung naaliw kayo sa episode natin ngayon, next week, we will be having the women's LaSalle basketball team here in our show. And I am really, really so excited. So we will be having Coach Cholo Villanueva also, and some of the team members of the De La Salle women's basketball team. So abangan niyo yan. Until next time, see you. Bye!